Okay guys, welcome back to part 2 of my Disney VHS clamshell collection. I'm also going to show you a couple or a few of the Disney VHS releases that came in the cardboard slip, and I'll do that at the end. So we have about 3 shelves left of animation, and then there's approximately 4 shelves of live action Disney movies. I'm going to try to get those all knocked out in this video. And then starting tomorrow, I'm going to start hitting the DVD collection for Disney. And then after that, we will continue with the Blu-rays until we get them all knocked out. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you haven't had a chance to watch part 1, do go check that out. I always appreciate the views and comments. So get yourself relaxed, get a beverage and a snack, and let's check out these Disney movies. So in part 1, we left off with the Lilo and Stitch the movie VHS tapes. So we're going to go down one shelf to Little Mermaid. And the first one I have is the Black Diamond Little Mermaid that has the band cover. It is a band cover, so this one's a little more sought after, a little more pricey, but it's not that pricey. And if you want to know more about the movie and why it's banned, you can Google search that. I'm not going to get into that here in this video. And then there was re-released, so I'll put them side by side so you can see. So this was the original Black Diamond. This was the re-released issue. It has kind of a gold border, kind of a metallic cover. It's pretty nice. I like both of them. And then we have Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea. It's a fun movie too. Okay, so getting into the next title here is The Lion King. We'll have a couple different covers of those, of this movie. So we have the Masterpiece Collection there on the right, and the Platinum Edition, Special Edition on the left. And it was followed by a couple prequels. So there's Lion King 1.5. I believe this was a direct-to-video release. And then there was Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. So technically, Lion King 2 came out before Lion King 1.5. But I just keep them on the shelf that way. So 1.5 comes before 2. I just leave it that way. The next one here is called Madeline, Lost in Paris. I don't know anything about this series or the franchise. I know it was on, I believe it was on Nickelodeon for a while, or maybe it was the Disney Channel, I don't remember. But this was a more modern cartoon, and by the time that this one was out, I was already, I think well into my teenage years, and I wasn't into like these little girl cartoons. But I do have it for the collection. Picked it up at a thrift shop for probably 50 cents. And the next one here is Melody Time, the 50th Anniversary Masterpiece Collection. This one is still sealed. And you can tell at one time it was a Best Buy release for $17.99. And it's a pretty fun cartoon. Some of the legends of stories and music. You have stories about Johnny Appleseed and let's see what else is on here. 7 classic stories with Donald Duck. Blame It on the Samba. There's really good music in here. Bumble Boogie, Johnny Appleseed, Pecos Bill, just to name a few. It's a pretty fun movie. I enjoy that one. And the next one is coming up fast on this time already. It's the Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. And there's a channel, a radio channel in my local area, Milwaukee, that's playing Christmas music already. They started playing it right after Halloween. It's the same movie, just two different covers. So this one here is the regular edition of it, Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. And then this was the gold collection, same movie, just two different covers. And that blemish there on the front, it's just sticker residue, so it's not damaged. I just have to get a little Goo Gone and wipe it off. It'll come right off. And back to the Christmas music. I really love Christmas music. It's timeless. But for me, it's a little too early. I usually start getting into the Christmas mode like the day after Thanksgiving. Then I'll start playing Christmas music. The next one's called The Spirit of Mickey. This is a pretty nice release. It's got that gold border, kind of a metallic border. The original cast, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. How can you not love those guys? And Monsters, Inc. There's a couple different releases of this movie. So this one came in a clear clamshell with a blue tape. And this was just a regular white clamshell case. It's a little dusty. I picked these up at, most of these I got at thrift shops for probably 50 cents up to like $2 for some of these. The next one is Mulan. This one is still sealed. Has the hype sticker that says new. Also has a sticker down below. It says if you join the Disney Movie Club, you buy 3 movies, 3 DVDs, and get one for free. And it was a Toys R Us purchase at one point. I'm going to keep that one off to the side because there's another edition of it. This was the Masterpiece collection of Mulan. 2 different covers of the same movie. And we start getting into the Muppets stuff. And when I was a kid, the Muppets were not part of Disney, but Disney purchased them at some point over the last decade or two. This is Jim Henson's The Muppet Movie. These are fun. And these are in no order, particular order. This is Muppet Classic Theater. 6 Fairy Tales. Take a wacky twist. The Muppet Christmas Carol. This is a fun one. I really enjoy that. These are all really fun. This one's also very fun. This is Muppet Treasure Island. Starring Tim Curry there at the top left corner. Long John Silver. And of course he was known for many roles that he played over his lifetime. Great actor. But probably best known as playing Pennywise the Clown in the mini-series It from the early 90s. The next one is called Muppets from Space. I don't really know what my favorite character is from the Muppets. It's probably Animal there, the little red guy. He's crazy, he's funny. I do like Gonzo, and I like Fozzie Bear. I like them all, but probably Animal cracks me up the most. I like the Swedish Chef, too. He's pretty hilarious. The next one's called Oliver and Company. This is the Masterpiece collection. So I picked this up at a thrift shop, but it looks like apparently it was at a movie rental store, and I'm not recognizing that logo or that label. So I'm not sure which store that would have been rented at. It was definitely not a Blockbuster. And I have a couple of the Peter Pan editions. So we'll take those out and look at them side by side. The first one here on the left is the Black Diamond original. And then they re-released it as a 45th anniversary limited edition masterpiece collection. Has that gold border again. And that is the end of shelf number 4. So now we got to get low. We got to get down to shelf 5, and then we're going to go over to the next shelving unit. And there's one more shelf over on that second unit of animation, and the rest will be live action. Okay, so we're going to do a little squatting here to get to the bottom shelf, but I want to get this properly viewed here for you guys. So this is the sequel to the Peter Pans that I just showed you, and this one's still sealed. This is Peter Pan in Return to Neverland. There's a little hype sticker calling it a charming sequel. Nice cover. All the cast of characters are back for the sequel. Then we have a couple editions of Pete's Dragon. Pull these out side by side. So the one here on the right is the first release of the movie on VHS. Really nice cover. I love that. And then it was re-released as part of the Masterpiece collection. And there you can see the characters from the movie. It's a mix of live action and animation. And we have a couple editions of Pinocchio. So we have a Masterpiece collection here on the right. And we have the, what is that, the 60th anniversary edition. Beautiful covers. I really like those. Glad to have those in the collection. Then we have Pocahontas Masterpiece collection. And the sequel, which was, this one's still sealed, Pocahontas 2, Journey to a New World. And it looks like it's still sealed, but it was a buy or rent 2 for 1. And it still has the, what is that, an Energizer battery coupon offer. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so now we're getting into the Disney Recess Christmas, Miracle on 3rd Street. This is another one. I don't really know much about this series or this franchise. I know that it was a series, I believe, on the Disney Channel, or maybe it was Nickelodeon, and then they made this into a movie for Christmas. But this came out much later. I was already in my teenage years. I didn't see it. This one's pretty cool. This is the Reluctant Dragon. Still sealed. It's in really, really good condition. I mean, of course, it's still sealed, but even some of the ones that are still sealed, they look like they're kind of old. But this one looks like it just came off the factory line. They just sealed it and they're putting it on the shelves. Looks really good. So these next two, we'll pull these out and show them side by side. It's the same movie with 2 different covers. This is the Rescuers, and this is the Masterpiece collection. And this one is the earlier release of it, the Black Diamond. I like that cover a little bit better. They're both pretty great, though. And then we have the sequel, The Rescuers Down Under. This is also a black diamond. I'll show you the spine here. I have a few editions here of Robin Hood. We have the gold collection. And then we have the black diamond. And even older than the black diamond was the puffy clamshell. These came out first. So these puffy clamshells are a little bit thicker than the normal clamshell, and they have kind of a padded, it's hard to explain, but when you feel it, it feels like it's soft and padded, and they have kind of a unique spine here to these. These are really nice. This is also a black diamond, but this was this is the earliest release of this movie. So technically this was 1, 2, and 3 in the order of when these releases were put out. So I'm glad to have all 3 of those. I have a couple of these Schoolhouse Rock VHS tapes. And the first one here on the right is the 25th anniversary collection of Grammar Rock. These are really fun little catchy songs. Definitely in 70s style music, which I really like about it, because that's when it came out. And then I have a 30th anniversary edition of the Best of Schoolhouse Rock. And these are really fun. I enjoy these quite a bit. I have a couple editions here of Snow White, and they're both sealed. And the first one here on the left is the Masterpiece collection with that kind of that gold metallic, or just metallic foil cover. There's a hype sticker on there, first time on video, limited time availability. And then it had a sticker price of $26.99, and that's really what these were going for back then. Anywhere from 24 to 30 bucks. These were pretty expensive at the time. And then the Platinum edition, this one is also still sealed. There's a sticker at the bottom that says free commemorative Disney book inside. And these are this is a timeless classic, this movie. It's a little dated as far as the animation style, but the story is timeless. Classic. Couple more here to show for shelf number 5, and then we'll continue to the next bookshelf. So this is Sleeping Beauty, and on the right was the first release of it, the Black Diamond edition. It's a really nice cover. And then it was re-released for a limited time as a fully restored edition. This is the Masterpiece collection of Sleeping Beauty, and I pulled them out so we can view them side by side. So the last title for the last shelf is The Sword in the Stone. I have 4 different editions of these. We have the Masterpiece collection here on the right. And then we have the Gold collection. And then we have the Black Diamond edition. And even earlier than that is another one of these padded clamshell. It's really heavy and thick, which it's also a diamond. I'll show you these 2 side by side. These are black diamond, but the one on the left is the first release, and then this is the second release. And this one's really nice. They didn't put too much on the cover other than the title and an image. It's kind of minimalistic there. Just the Disney's The Sword in the Stone. I really like that. They just kind of let that cover be the whole palette for the movie poster, where some of these others added stuff and You know, the gold bar, and I mean, they're all nice in their own way. I just like that first style there. It looks really good. Okay, so moving on, and before we get into that second shelf there, that shelf unit, I'm going to show you all of the VHS tapes I have in these cardboard slips. So everything that I've shown so far has been clamshell, but these are movies that I picked up also in thrift shops, and these are just VHS tapes with the cardboard cover. And this first one here is called Goof Troop. The race is on. Most of these were either a quarter or 50 cents. Next one's called Atlantis, Milo's Return. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Once I show them, I'm just going to kind of slide them off to the side to give myself a little more room. The next one is called Walt Disney Cartoon Classics, Mickey and the Gang. Volume 11, or not sure. This one is kind of rare. This one was never released in a clamshell. It was one of the last VHS releases before they started to release DVDs only. So this one never did get a clamshell release. And this one goes anywhere from probably like $20 to $45, $50, depending on condition. If it's sealed, you may be able to get it for $50. I bought this at a thrift shop. I think I paid 50 cents for it. This is Bambi 2. It's in really, really good condition too. I put it in one of these plastic protectors. Fun little movie here called The Incredible Journey. And we have Babes in Toyland, starring Annette Funicello. Ray Bolger is also in there. And coming down here we have Adventures in Wonderland. Don't really know much about this. I just grabbed it because it was cheap. And I found this at a thrift shop too, and this is probably nothing, but it's a 1998 vacation video. Back in the day, I think they may still do it, but before there was the internet and all that stuff, or before the internet was really popular, I should say, you could order a vacation video from Disney resorts, and they'll send you a free video and a brochure or a pamphlet or something, kind of hyping their resorts and what you can expect if you book with them. And that's basically all this is. This is from the Disney Institute. It just says, discover the Disney Institute, a unique Disney vacation right on the grounds of the world's premier resort in Florida. So I doubt these have any kind of value, but I'm not collecting with the hopes of becoming wealthy on these, because it's just a misnomer. I know there were a lot of people that thought. I was talking with John in the comments section yesterday. There have been many videos and articles on the internet. People were thinking that these would be worth thousands of dollars someday, and they're basically worth just memories of your childhood. Basically, that's all they are. They're not worth much, but they're cool. I like to collect these. This is live action George of the Jungle, starring Brendan Fraser. This one is White Fang. This is a good one. Story adaptation by Jack London, or from Jack London's book. We have one here called Kidnapped. Walt Disney Studio Film Collection. Here's another fun one. This is Return to Oz. This one's also in like brand new condition. It's not sealed, but it looks like it may have been viewed once and put away in a cabinet for years. I bought this at a thrift shop for like 25 cents, 50 cents maybe. Maybe watched once, I would say. A couple more of these. We have a Walt Disney Christmas. You can see some of the popular early characters. Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Chip and Dale, Mickey and Minnie, and of course the big man, Santa Claus. And the last one for these paper sleeves, or cardboard sleeves, this is the Little Mermaid, Ariel's Undersea Adventures. Stormy the Wild Seahorse. This was, I believe this is a series, not a movie. So this is probably like a 20-minute short. 44 minutes actually, it says on the back. I believe that this was a cartoon series. So, all right, we will slide over here now to the second bookshelf. You can probably hear my big dog going down the steps in the background. All right, so we already talked about these Sword in the Stone because there was one on the bottom shelf over here, and then the other three were on the start of this shelf. So I have a couple of Tarzan movies. The first one here on the right is the first one. And this one is still sealed. This is Tarzan and Jane. This is a sequel. Has a hype sticker, all new movie. I believe this was direct to video. And I got this at a Goodwill for $1.99, still sealed. I thought that's a great deal. Anytime I can find a Disney VHS tape for $2 or less and it's still sealed, I'll grab it. The Three Caballeros, I have a couple different editions of this one. This is another fun movie, another musical type movie. This one here is the Black Diamond, the first release. See how it's kind of minimalistic on the front, just Walt Disney's The Three Caballeros. And then it shows the characters. That's really nice. I like that. I like the layout of that. And then you have the Masterpiece Collection. And then there's a coupon for when you go to the Disney Movie Club. You can save $2 instantly when you buy 2 videos. So that is the Three Caballeros. Okay, so something came up and I have to go in a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this top shelf and then I'm going to upload the video. And then part 3 will conclude the VHS series, which will consist of these last 4 shelves. So you can look forward to that. I hope you guys return and check that out. The next one's called the Tigger Movie, and as I mentioned before in the past, was never really the biggest Winnie the Pooh fan. I didn't really like the narration, I didn't like the characters, and it wasn't geared towards it was more geared towards like small children, and I was already beyond that age. I think even when I was a small child, I just didn't get into Winnie the Pooh. The next one here, I have a couple editions of Toy Story. This was an instant classic. As soon as this was released, I knew this was going to be huge. And I still love this movie to this day. So this is Toy Story. And this is the first release of it here on VHS. And then they re-released it as a gold collection. And you can see there on the spine that they added more words. It just says special edition. And they kind of minimalize the image. I like it when it's more wide open like this one. I think that's beautiful. This one just seems like it's a little more crammed in there. I'm very glad to have them both, though. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying this is my preference right here. And of course, then there was the sequel, Toy Story 2 on VHS. And this was the last Toy Story that they released on VHS. The others were released on DVD and Blu-ray and 4K. And I do have all of them, but these were the only 2 from VHS. Love that franchise. The next one is a sealed copy of Treasure Planet. Got this one at Goodwill for $2. Here's the hype sticker. It says new from the directors of Aladdin and the Little Mermaid. Let me get that glare off of there. And at one point, somebody paid $15.48. And actually that was probably a pretty good deal at the time. To get a new VHS from Disney for 15 bucks, that was probably a really good price. But now this is what they're going for, so, or even less. Here's some more Winnie the Pooh stuff. We have Winnie the Pooh, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Special commemorative edition of the original feature-length movie. And there's Pooh's Grand Adventure, The Search for Christopher Robin. There's a Halloween special called Winnie the Pooh, Spookable Pooh. And a Tigger special called Winnie the Pooh, Sing a Song with Tigger. So now this next little portion of the video, these are very early releases from Disney. These are kind of hard to find. These are a little more pricey too, just because they're a little more rare, they're older, and if you can get these in decent condition, then you can pay a little money for these. But if you look around and you know, do your research and that, you can find these for pretty good prices. So these are the old style clamshells. These are the really heavy, thick clamshell cases. And this is called Walt Disney Home Video Limited Gold Collection, Gold Edition Cartoon Classics. This one's called Life with Mickey. These are very, very collectible. These are much harder to find than your regular white clamshell cases. These are harder to find. And this one's called, well, I have two of these, I guess, Life with Mickey. It's the same exact movie I just showed you, just a second copy of it. And The World According to Goofy. And I'll give you a good viewing of all of them side by side here when I'm done. And then we'll wrap the video up. This one's called Disney's Best, The Fabulous 50s. This was called How the Best Was Won, 1933 through 1960. And then these are also two very old releases. These are the very first clamshells that they released. This is Alice in Wonderland. And these are a little more rare. And the last one for this video is called Sport Goofy. And I'm going to pause it here, and I'm going to put these on the shelf side by side so we can get a better viewing of them. Okay, just to get a better viewing, because I was feeling like we were getting glare there, and I wanted to get a better view for you guys. So this is Life with Mickey, The World According to Goofy, Disney's Best, The Fabulous 50s, and How the Best Was Won, 1933 to 1960, and then a very early, kind of a rare release of Alice in Wonderland and Sport Goofy. So that is it, guys. That was part 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a chance to go back and watch part 1. I appreciate that. And stay tuned for part 3, which I will upload tomorrow. I haven't even recorded it yet, but I will record it and upload it tomorrow. And that will consist of live action. And there's going to be 4 shelves to show you of the live action stuff. So have a great night. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me for a while. I always do appreciate that. And I will catch you next time. Bye.